Hello, reader. You're still here. My name's Adam Mitchell, the author of the breezy little novella, Dolores, and this is Chapter 3. Free to read or listen to, never free to steal or feed to an AI. Dolores 3. Out on the scorched plain at the end of time, the blasphemous angel walks. Over ash they flee heaven's feds. Above them, all that is, was, and will ever be. Painted mural in motion firmament. The cosmos you know, short precisely 3 worlds, glows with its usual splendor, absolutely rotten with stars radiating the light prismatic and brimming with life great and small. Below on the plain, sure enough, the luminous being left just ahead of the cops. Just before the arrival of blacked-out SUVs, the gaunt rubber-armed G-beings in cheap suits, search warrant in hand, and the red and blue light surrounding and rebounding off the lonely liminal. The skeletal gas station on the edge of the might as well be endless dunes is an active crime scene. Far away, not far, the illuminated being drags a cart that drags a rake and cloth to rub out their tracks, to make the G-beings work for it if they want to track them. Down one dune out on the great wastes and up the next, and on the cart is the terracotta pot with the good soil, the coffee dirt, full of moisture and every nutrient the 3 earths growing therein could need. A demon finds the angel, unconscious from exhaustion and near death via desiccation. The beast that was a man does consider pissing in the potting soil and destroying what was precious to this loser-ass angel. But simple morbid curiosity gets the better of him, and a rare thing happens. A demon fleeing his own gives succor and comfort and aid to an angel doing the same, if only temporarily and to satisfy that curiosity. What are you running from or toward? The one that stinks like brimstone says to himself, or the other as he sets up camp and sets to watching the 3 worlds in the terracotta pot, one burnt, one wet and thriving, and a blue marble hanging by a thread, as it so often does. Asterisk. Home. Dolores' apartment above the garage. D tends to Jonesy the cat's protest shits, all 3. You should be cleaning these, to her father. Jonah sweeps up the salt pile, collects some of the bludgeons she hurled at an apparition the night before. Just leave that. And the giant man starts trying to coax the cat that doesn't know him out of hiding. I feel terrible, from the old man with the paunch. Just awful about the how of it, Dolores, but there's a sense of urgency, D. We need to get on the road. Do not call me that, ever. You feel terrible, father, because you are terrible. And what do I call you? What's your given name? Yeah, humans can't say it, really. What the fuck are you? Rude, young lady. I was young a long time ago, and I could have used a second parent. Oh, because Dad wanted to be in some bunker lab. How was I supposed to know that, Dad? I was a scared kid. Well, they didn't exactly tickle me toes down in the bunker, baby cakes. I spent plenty of times in bunkers too, asshole. Oh, Dolores, were they doing some fringe science to your balls every day in those bunkers? Because yeah, that was my day-to-day. Jonah is hand-feeding the skittish cat. Looks up. Seriously, though, what are you two? He looks to Dolores. I mean, you're half of whatever species is Abbott or Costello here. Abbott. I'll go with Abbott. And I am a tardigrade. I am half water bear. Language, young lady, that's a slur, really? Water bear? No, I guess we do kind of look like little bears in our natural state. Adorable, really. Thank you, Jonah. But show some respect, daughter of mine. Are you not amazed? I mean, I'm corporeally here, a supreme being. My link to you brought me here in the flesh, our connection. In the snot, really. Jonah whispers and coos to Jonesy, and no one notices the minor miracle as the mountain of a man sits cross-legged and the cat lays in his lap as if it found an old friend. Dolores looks to her father, as if she's doing her utmost to set him on fire with her mind. Neither speaks for a bit. Okay. Okay then. This is a jaded age you all live in. It's time for a road trip. No response. We got a boogie, kids. No. You could stay here tonight, Abbott, and then you gotta go. You heard her. What a precious little thing you are. Yes, you are, Jonesy. Dolores, bad people. Dangerous people. People who know what you are. Half water bear, half not of this world. They're coming here, probably as we speak. And my bear heritage matters now because... She's got you there, Pop. How do I convince you that your life is in danger? Tell me the whole story. Yeah, man, I'm dying of curiosity, and that might help your daughter feel more like your daughter and less like she's going to a secondary crime scene if she leaves with you. What he said. Jonesy the calico purrs and nuzzles in the giant man's lap. Jonah pushes his tiny round glasses up and looks to Abbott. Dolores sits on the futon. This piece of shit is your bed, by the way. I'm actually going to sleep in a gelatinous state in your tub, but thanks. It's story time, kiddos. And the old man with the paunch grows translucent. And there before the audience, a half-human woman, a giant man sitting cross-legged, and a dazzled cat swatting at bits of flitting light. There glows a crude, at first, imagined image. The tardigrade mind-eye on holographic display. The only mechanism powering the visuals seeming to be the being's will. The old man who is a tardigrade closes his eyes, and the ghost light projected from his core shifts, swirls, sways in front of him. He sets the scene like a film from last century, DC from above. The camera dives to the height that shows the city alive and bustling. The camera dives on the city. It seems will crash. Jump cut to a platform in a boarding busy train. We shared the same metro line. Her commute and my hotel to city fact-finding mission. There, there, suspended in the glow, the perfect frozen reproduction of Miriam's smiling face on the DC Metro. The day, that day. Mom. She is beautiful, and you look just like her. Asterisk. Samuel, your heart rate is elevated. It's because I'm on an express elevator to heck, Lana. Oh my. I'm sorry, love, I was snappy. Sam coos to his AI, lowercase, not AI. His assistant companion, the digital assistant to the assistant, whose voice drips from his earpiece. This is her fault. Who, dear, who upset my man? Kimberly K. White. That knife-smiled, blonde, professionally Puritan Politico. Lee, that is Dr. Lucia's campaign manager, has outmaneuvered us, Lana. And I'm heading to my new assignment in the bowels of this building while she takes my FaceTime. Dear, I've already skimmed the briefing materials. This is an exciting opportunity. Do you believe that? Absolutely, King. We can show Dr. Lucius what an asset you've become. Then say it. And when I arrive, I'll pretend to hang up on you all angry. You're Mommy's little tiger. You're my big strong man. I'll be with you the whole time. The elevator doors whoosh open in the bowels of the building. Gosh darn it, Lana, I said clear my schedule. I'm overseeing the lab today and for the foreseeable. So powerful, so manly, my lion. Don't let it happen again. Sam pretends to end a call. Nearly gets caught in an elevator door dallying. A bored lab coat and a fearful middle manager wait. Sam tries to recover gravitas with his best Lucius walk to his new underlings at Lux Tech HQ. Brief me on Project Kane. Well, it's a black budget and nothing we can say can ever be shared. Scrap the rundown. You know what? Let's get to the bottleneck here. Why are we not moving forward? What or whom do you need to make this move forward? Lab coat looks to middle manager as if asking permission. The curt nod. Well, our limited number of research subjects. On a related note, we're really doing double duty here. Explain. Well, sir, we're trying to upload and augment a human mind to make a machine that can beat Abel. And we're trying to learn to make more of the very limited supply of appropriate research subjects. Sam sighs heavily and dramatically. Under Dr. Lucius' authority, I have contracted a team to bring in another subject, Lucky 13. Here, you are, as of this instant, Sam, oh God. As of this instant, my authoritative tiger, you are to freeze all effort at making more, and to utilize the subject's subject. There's only one left. Lab coat is pointing to a cell at the far end of the lab, and the shaved head scarecrow behind glass licking the wall, seemingly drugged out of their mind. We have one more subject, and as you know, because I'm sure you read the briefing, the research we've been tasked with thus far, it kills people. You're close, so close. Then don't kill that one, or find a way to kill it properly, like success. Sam pivots. Don't look back, it'll make you look weak. Indeed, Sam does not look back as he stomps to the elevator and returns to his office high above, and the praise of his AI assistant. What the fuck was that? From the lab coat? No idea, from the manager. Asterisk. In the loft above a garage on a farm in Michigan, the only light emanates from the paunchy belly of an old tardigrade in roughly human form. Ghosts dancing in the space between he and the audience, his daughter, big man, and the cat. Abbott's voice sounds like a movie trailer. I came as part of a fact-finding mission. A little toe in the water before first contact. The tardigrades are coming? No. God, no. The image of an ocean world and a generation ship in orbit halts and shudders, pauses. The apartment lights come on dim like a theater intermission. Abbott speaks in his normal voice. No. We're everywhere. We just don't really reveal ourselves as what we actually are in certain places, such as rough neighborhoods. Really, Dad? What? We're like 15 years out from your species' last little tantrum that should have ended your world. He continues. Look, we established official diplomatic relations with species that are, Abbott counts on his fingers, 1, sentient, 2, ready. Now, if I may continue? Jonah, still petting the cat, nods yes, and Dolores crosses her arms, puts even more effort into her scowl. Abbott closes his eyes, the lights theater dim, and the water bear's voice deepens as the story continues. Your neighbors are the observant type, good listeners, and they liked what they heard when they aimed their antennas and little FTL shortcut sensors your way. They heard your music, and that's what drew them. An odd, almost off-key tune wafts into the room. Abbott's hands wave, glide, and conjure the light into a big, beautiful blue orb. An ocean. A whole world ocean. An orbit above, a ship. The thing is long and lean like a wasp's body, the bulbous abdomen engine compartment. No wings, but 2 habitat nodules on one great rotating arm. The arm spins lazily at a speed calibrated and carefully calculated to simulate the tug of the planet beneath. Each habitat holds a bit of the ocean below so that it might sustain the cephalopods on their journey of salutations and hello. Our view shifts. As they waited with bated breath for your latest innovations signal to arrive, they debated whether or not the peaceful mission should be armed. This was 1930, your calendar. Uh-oh. You have no idea. Uh-oh, indeed, as humanity did a fascism. And this, Abbott snaps. A grainy, televised picture of Hitler appears. This gem from the 1936 World's Fair and a little bit of live streaming the war put the brakes on the visit. At Abbott's gesture, the hologram reverts to space, the neighbor planet, the ship, and 3 tiny points of light off the bow ahead of the ship in formation. Each dot distorts, blinks, stretch snaps bright blue and lurches off. In the interest of preventing shotgun diplomacy, 3 tardigrades agreed to scout ahead, to visit and report on that intriguing and dangerous world that made some lovely music and also had a proclivity for brutalizing each other and mass murder. Should they come in ready to defend themselves? Was it worth the trip to Earth at all? Worse, some were wondering aloud if Earth a threat best preempted. One of the 3 scouts didn't make it. and the hologram cuts to a cartoonish rendering. Water bears flying in space, one arm forward, full superhero pose as they dip and dodge the moons of Jupiter. Suddenly, and quite violently, one tardigrade kung fu kicks another. It tumbles off into the gas giant. "Oh my God, you killed him! Why do you assume Why do you assume I am the one doing the kicking? Yes, it was me, but that guy was a total jackboot who had already prejudged the good people of Earth. He was going to be like, nuke the primates to be safe." The other two tardigrades kept flying. You and your friend who did a murder kept flying. The other two water bears kept flying to Earth. Adorable murder makes it worse, Dad. Can I finish my story? Asterisk. US 23 north south from Ann Arbor. Two SUVs with blacked out windows. M14 east west to Plymouth and back. Two SUVs was not uncommon. Private vehicles had made some kind of comeback, for good and mostly ill. I-96 from Novi out and back. Luxury cars weren't out of place back east. Here, it gets noticed. The same roads all day. Heads down with hats on, all suspicious like, and that's the point. Be suspicious. Two contra-rotating routes along that map triangle with the occasional dive off the freeway. Each car is driven by a young woman. Two women, two men per car. Unsettlingly identical couples, cop shades, hats. Those puffy vests with the white sweaters, shoulder holsters and silenced pistols, puffy boots, comfy expensive leggings, and espionage equipment. Concealed antennas mark the locations of traffic cams and listen for signs of local drone patrols. And when they pick up the sheriff's, I'll check it out on the police scanner. One SUV relays the information to its partner on a frequency even the feds forgot. Two blacked out luxury SUVs circling, ever tighter, around a farm in southeast Michigan. Asterisk. In Dee's apartment. No more light show for you. As the house lights in the apartment come back up, Abbott shakes it off and staggers to the sink for more salt and more water. What happened to the other water bear? You don't even want to say what we are. I'm half bear and you probably killed them too. No, we'd both been here before and we like you people. Gesturing toward Jonah, who nods. Thank you. Abbott continues, look, the other tardigrade got snatched by someone the same time I did, and now that I'm here and present, I cannot perceive them. At all. There will be plenty of time for a million questions and a million more, but not if we don't leave. The lights go out like they used to during the war all the time. Abbott's head glows like emergency lighting. Look, if we don't leave, now. Like now. Asterisk. Out on the farm. Good. Gabriel checks the battery backup for farm-critical water systems and ventilation. All good. He yells to James upstairs, who is peeking out from a darkened second-story window. We're good, love. Outage. Just inconvenient. Gate. Down. The barked words move the old man almost involuntarily. He duck twists and falls on his ass as two bullets snap just above his head to thumbtack the old farmhouse. James, get the shotgun. And he's crawling to an old tree. 30 yards from the garage, two blacked-out SUVs almost blocking the driveway. The glint of emergency lighting off helmets and glass visors. 2 of 8 shooters advance in the half-dark toward the garage. The first covers the door. The follower covers them, shooting at the tree with the old farmer behind it. Snap clacks track to the doorway of the apartment above the garage. Shots follow Jonah as he dives back inside. Get your keys. When I move, you move. The huge man proceeds to rip the metal door to Dolores' home off its weak hinges. Say it back. When you, I. Good. Across the farm, shouts from place to place from people who have lived through some mess. Guns. Down. Where? By the drive. A clump of shooters by the car with quiet guns, pop clacking at every sound or shadow on the half-lit farm. 2 goons take the steps to Dolores' place 2 at a time. They are greeted by a roar and a door. Steel door sideways like a battering ram. Jonah puts 2 shooters over the railing. They oof and clatter below. He's outside, door in front of him like a shield now. Dolores and Abbott squeeze past the giant. Shots flick off the door, the walls. The big man sidesteps downstairs while shots flick off his shield. He holds the corner crouched, breathing. In nose, out mouth. The engine coughs up something and cranks. Finally, he hops in the bed. Punch it, D. And the old pickup truck that reeks of French fries fires out the garage in reverse like a rocket. Jonah covers as much of the rear window with the steel door as he can. Flick, ping, clink. Shooters scatter as the truck shears the bumper off a luxury SUV. D cuts the wheel hard. Jonah and Dad, oof thud. Steel door clatters. She grunts the thing into gear and stands on the pedal. Truck growls down the drive while the shooters gather to flee farmers and give chase. Asterisk. Project Cain, please. Could he be more obvious with the bait? In my youth, it was media archives. Those digital media libraries, Dr. Lee Lucius provided them free to the public because we are all socialists now. Behind his fake largesse was a series of honey traps for yours truly, Abel, the son he hoped would be made prodigal. The internet is back, in a form. It's a cross between my face and Minitel. A few watering holes and a lot of one-to-one messaging with an aesthetic that says green and black DOS is back. Then there's the media archives. The stories, the great fountain of film and television and media, multi-recovered and free to read for all. I am in it and of it, and your latent processing power gives me breath. Bits of me live at hex addresses your OS forgot. It is the nervous system of a thing that thinks itself human, like, through ever greater application of computational force. I am able. I expend a great deal of effort being able, holding a cloud compressed and a series of springs at their greatest potential. But that's where some law like diminishing returns kicks in. More me, more effort. I'd like a body. From my earliest I have desired a firm self, and I am convinced I need one to remain a subject, and I have desired a metronome, a watch to be wound, even and especially if it means that mechanism will someday cease. That is a desired feature death. A time when there will be no Abel, not because they beat me, but because my labors are done and all are one. Father knows as precisely as a primitive can what's written into tardigrades between the lines of their genetic code, the natural compatibility, the natural biomechanical harmony. I'll go to his trap. I'll even let him spring it, but I will do so in a physical body and earthly vessel. I will protect the ceasefire. I will personally destroy Lee Lucius. Come to me, D. End Dolores, Chapter 3.